it should cool down later. The wind isn't an issue as it has been earlier in the week. It is a nice day, shorts and maybe a jacket. Overall, it's nice.
Yeah. I see some people behind you. How's everyone else dressed? Similarly?
Well, that is a good question. We're seeing people in long pants and jackets, but not thick of jackets. There are shorts that we do see right now. It's not a popular people to be walking because they're being good students and in class. So that's good, but there's not too much thick layer of clothing. So overall, everyone is enjoying this calm, cool weather afternoon.
Yeah. Sounds good. Thank you so much. It's all right. You can come on back in now.
Okay, thank
so we'll
you.
take a look at our weather headlines first. So as we're looking outside right now, like Armand said, it's calm and it's feeling nice. Temperatures will be getting much warmer through this week, especially where we were this past week, you know, temperatures 20s and 30s most of the week. And then heading into next week, we're going to see a slight chance of rain Saturday, Sunday, but the rest of the week should be really nice. So as you look outside right now, it's 53 degrees, partly cloudy, but like Armand said, you know, it's come and go. There's a slight wind, so it's nice, not too bad, like, you know, especially since Tuesday was ridiculous with gusts up to like 30 miles an hour. And then heading into this evening, if you're heading out just to have fun, or if you're getting ready to go watch the Big 12 tournament, as we head out at like 4 p.m., you can see our high is going to be around 62 this afternoon. And then we'll be cooling off to around 54 by 7, and by midnight we'll be at 39. So you're definitely going to need those coats as you head into this evening. But you won't need those coats into the rest of the week because like today's high is 62. But we're going to be staying pretty warm into the weekend and the rest of the week. We're going to have daylight saving time on Saturday, so don't forget your clocks. And we're going to see our temperatures stay mostly in the 50s for the rest of the week, with our high of the week on Thursday of 67. Thank you for watching. We'll be back after the break with sports.
When you shop local in the heart of the city, you support the people that make our community thrive. The money you spend here stays here, in this place we call our home. Lawrence, Kansas, where there's good old-fashioned hometown pride. Eat local, drink local, shop local.
How's it going? My name is Jake Honer. I'm a video producer for OfftheBlvd. A couple weeks back, I had the opportunity to shoot an event for the Fantastics, which is a local band based out of Kansas City. And the following is a clip from that night, so sit back and enjoy.
See, when I'm at the Granada in Lawrence, Kansas, I feel like it's only right that we have a good old time, right?
Okay, yes.
Can we have a good old time?
Yes, we can.
I said, can we have a good old time? Say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Say oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Say all right now.
All right.
Take it on down now.
Down, down.
Say all right.
All right.
Oh, hey.
Hit 'em with the beat one time. Hit 'em with the beat two times. Hit 'em with the beat hot down. Hey, hey. I said hit 'em with the beat one time. Hit 'em with the beat two times. Hit 'em with the beat hot down. Oh, yeah.
Hey, when
Have a nice day. You too. Have a great day. Thanks. You too.
Make someone's day. Pay it forward.
Hey everyone, welcome back to What's Poppin'. I'm your host Matthew for this.
And I'm Tamaya. Today we're going to be talking about Cloverfield Paradox. We reviewed it this week, and we're going to show you the trailer right now. Right.
Possible earthquake near the Statue of Liberty.
Looks like you should have left town a little bit earlier.
Whatever you're doing, stop.
So, general plot of Cloverfield Paradox. So there's basically a global energy crisis on Earth, right? So what the astronauts are trying to do is basically find a new generator of energy.
Just
so,
find it like a sort of infinite energy source because like it's kind of like the brink of like another world war happening at that current time. So like if they don't find this energy crisis, like everyone's really shown like, wanting to, you know, end each other.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
Yeah, nothing surprising.
But the big problem is with this sort of thing they're trying to do to find the infinite energy, they're using a thing called the Shepherd Particle Accelerator. And that particle accelerator, there are skeptics who believe that with using that much energy, it could rip open the fabric of the universe and like lead the opening into different realities.
Like in movies when they're like, it's a rip in the time-space continuum. That's exactly what they're doing.
And they're unaware of like what horrors or what exactly they could release into their said universe.
Exactly. So that's basically the whole like premise of the movie. I really enjoyed it. I think I really was gonna like it, but it turned out being like a really good movie.
It was really insightful, and there was just a lot to think about, like just throughout the movie and at the end of it.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people have heard about the Cloverfield Paradox through Netflix and their commercials and their advertisements, especially with Super Bowl and things like that. So I think that's kind of what drove us to kind of do it. It's a really hot movie right now.
Yeah.
So I think one of the prevalent people in the movie is Juju Raw. She plays Hamilton, the astronaut in the movie. She has been in like multiple movies recently. Like she's really been getting it, and I'm really loving it. I think she's a fantastic actress.
I think if it came down to characters and who I thought like acted best, she really did like help pull along the movie.
Yeah. I thought a lot of the other actors and actresses in the movie were supporting.
Everyone was complimentary, but she's the one that was the one driving the whole movie. So without her, I question how well it would have worked. But kind of moving off that, like again with the plot of it, it's got to do like causing a paradox and unknown horrors because of alternate realities. Playing with that, there's the theory of paradoxical universes that they try introducing, and it's if they happen to rip open that fabric between them, there's rumors that it's like a larger multiverse. So there's different universes like infinite that run on the same timeline but like have slight differences. But like some could have aliens, some could have sea creatures, but they don't know and they're just unaware of like what could come out.
Yeah, and so basically there's like a whole timeline type deal with the whole movie. So there's been this is the third movie in the series. There's like a series. So it goes Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then Cloverfield Paradox, right? Do you want to talk about that some more?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Cloverfield Paradox they see as the way of like tying up all of these movies to be interconnected. So in the Cloverfield Paradox, the events of that thing are said to happen in around 2028. And when they rip open time and accidentally go into another universe, they didn't only go into their own alternate universe, they ripped open time throughout the multiverse and open horrors throughout the multiverse. And the different movies in the series, such as Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and Overlord, are different realities at different points in time.
So it's basically like a snapshot of the same time and the exact same monsters and stuff like that. But it just gives a little bit more context as to how it happened, what caused it,
and then
things like that.
Along with that, like the monsters in Cloverfield Paradox came into their universe in 2028. In the other movies, it's supposed to be like 2008, 2016. So it also put the monsters in different time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which was like the craziest thing to me, right? Because you never see things like that, right? Like it's always like, oh yeah, it's the exact same year in every timeline, rather than it being like different years scattered throughout and different events happening throughout.
Yeah, it is a paradox, so it is kind of hard to think of as it is, but the Cloverfield Paradox movie, I believe, helped like really tie the movies together and like provided some insight and like clarity for it.
Yeah. Be warned, you will be very confused if you've only seen 10 Cloverfield Lane, just like me. Just know that.
So what were your overall feels for the movie?
So overall feels for me, I really, really enjoyed the movie. I saw it twice just because I was very confused initially. But I really like the graphics. I'm a big graphics buff. There wasn't really a soundtrack to it. Which was fine because they didn't really need a soundtrack.
It was more space-based, so it kind of made sense.
But I really liked how they made it a space movie, but it wasn't always in space.
Yes.
Because it could get boring, right? With a lot of like space movies, it's always in space and they're always out there and you're like, okay, I get it, you're in space.
I like how it was up there, but they kept it connected to Earth and like showed the difficult parts and like some flashbacks. So it connected different parts of time, so you weren't confused completely.
Yeah.
But overall, just flat out, I was confused.
Yeah.
It wasn't near as confusing as last week with Annihilation, but I thought it was a little more on a positive note.
Yeah. Yeah. So next week, we're going to be talking about Wrinkle in Time. It came out on the 9th. You saw it.
Yeah, I technically saw it last night, so I'm not going to say anything. But
it was pretty good, right?
You guys are going to be excited for next week. It was a really good movie, and it's got Oprah in it.
Oprah. So we're very excited to see it. We're very excited to talk about it with you all. So yes, we will see you next week.
And stay tuned after the break.
Bye-bye.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas. A great place to be you.
Hi, welcome back to Off the Boulevard. This is Food Fight. My name is Armand.
And I'm Kate.
Kate, what are you eating?
I'm eating chocolate. I'm eating my chocolate bars.
Why are you eating chocolate?
I started this new diet for spring break. I mean, spring break is in a week now. I'm trying to get that spring break bod. And so when I was looking for the best diet that would work for me, I found this thing called the chocolate diet, and you essentially just eat chocolate. You only eat a few chocolate bars a day. So I'm eating my breakfast chocolate bar right now. I've got one for lunch, one for dinner, and one for my midnight snack. And so essentially how it's supposed to work is they're only like about 220 calories each, and like 220 times 4, I'm pretty sure that's less than 1,000. So I'm only eating less than 1,000 calories per day. So since I'm not eating a lot of calories, I'm not gaining a lot of calories, so I'm not gaining a lot of weight. I'm not gaining a lot of weight. And so I'll lose weight for spring break. I'll have that great spring break bod. Aren't you going to go on a diet for spring break?
Actually, it's a coincidence you asked because I'm on a ice diet. I'm supposed to swallow ice for like a week, 2 weeks, and it's going to clean up my pores.
Because that's important.
No, it is important on the beach bod. And then also the water weight I'm gaining because it gains the water, and then I gain that water weight, and then it helps, and I sweat a lot, so I sweat it all out. So it's okay, so it's a win-win.
Win-win. You stay hydrated.
Hydrated.
And you lose weight.
Yes.
Well, I also found this other diet that's supposed to work really well. It's called the sleep diet, and I think this one's also really great for me because I love to sleep. So essentially, whenever you get hungry, you just sleep. And then you won't be hungry anymore because you're just sleeping, so you're not really gaining a lot of weight. And I guess you're supposed to lose weight while you sleep because, I don't know, some people sweat while they sleep and you just lose weight.
No, just kidding, I do.
So I think that's supposed to work. So I think between doing a sleep diet and my chocolate diet, I'll be ready for spring break in no time.
That's perfect. I'm also looking at another diet too. My friend Beyonce also does this diet. It's a mixture of lemonade, cayenne pepper, and salt, and you're supposed to have about 6 cups of it. And it will help you, it'll help you lose weight and just make you feel nice and refreshed. And a lot of people, a lot of models and Hollywood actresses do it.
Well, if Beyonce does it, it must work.
Yeah,
I mean, look
that's
at Beyonce.
what she told me, yeah. So hopefully it works out for me and my beach bod will work well.
Yeah, and hopefully these diets can maybe work out for you too. You can give them a try if you want. We are going to put a poll on our Twitter, so feel free to go and vote which one you think is going to make us lose the most weight and look the best on spring break. So make sure to go on our Twitter and vote.
Thanks for watching, and tune in after the break for your Off the Boulevard sports update.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that.
Welcome back to Off the Boulevard Sports. I'm Corey Lewis Minkoff.
And I'm Jake Kaufman.
And here we're going to talk about Mike Moustakas to start off. So Jake, Mike Moustakas was signed back to the Royals in a $6.5 million one-year contract. We've got a lot of thoughts on this, though. I wanted to get your take on it first, though.
Yeah, so like you said, $6.5 million, and it's really kind of a low blow to Mike Moustakas, if you ask me. This guy, he tore his ACL just 2 seasons ago, bounced back, had the year of his life, broke the Royals' single-season home run record, batted over 85 RBIs and batted over 270, and only gets $6.5 million. It's really just kind of a slap in the face to Eric, or not to Eric Hosmer, to Mike Moustakas, wouldn't you say?
Well, we were talking about Eric Hosmer earlier. What's so surprising about that is that Eric Hosmer has had quite a career as well. He's had an amazing season, and he was just signed by the Angels for $144 million in an 8-year contract. And to think about how much like Moustakas is really lowballed on this, when he originally had an offer for more than $17 million from the Royals for what was it, 2 years or just one?
Yeah, qualifying offer, 1 year, $17 million.
For 1 year. I mean, he really walked out of this with not a very good deal at all. And he was hitting .272 for this season, drove in 85 runs, had a career high of 38 homers this year. And he really is at the top of his game. I can't really understand. I'm truly baffled why he wouldn't get a better deal than the one he got.
Look at the free agent market. It really shows how messed up it was this year. Earlier in the season, or earlier in this offseason, he was talking to him and his manager were talking to the Angels. He was offered around a 3-year, $45 million deal, and they thought they could get more. And little did we know was that he really didn't get much at all.
No, and that's just a shame. I think it shows that the free agent market is really just broken right now, though. And honestly, I'm getting more depressed as we talked about this, but still, I think that we have a pretty good season ahead of us. I mean, we still have Moustakas, obviously, but I don't think it's necessarily going to make the season anyway. We haven't been playing our best these last few years since at least the World Series. So I mean, to say that it's just based off of these players that we're re-signing, I would say is a little bit naive. I think we have a lot more work to do.
I would have to agree with that. Having Mike Moustakas on this team, as a Royals fan myself, I'm excited to see him on the team for another year. But in reality, it's really not going to make a difference for this ball club. They're still going to be second to last in the division, maybe in front of the White Sox, with probably around 90 losses on the season. So with that being said, it's still going to not be a great season to watch as a baseball fan, but I am excited to have him back on the team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked enough about baseball now. Let's move over to our little cousin basketball now. KU had an amazing game against Oklahoma State yesterday, shut them out at 82-68 in the final score. What do you think were the main takeaways from this game, Jake?
Yeah, so with this game, we were without Udoka. He was out with an MCL sprain. Is expected to be back for March Madness as a relief, but the perimeter players really had a key role in this game. You had Malik Newman, career high 30 points. This really was his game.
It really was, and that's what's so shocking about before about how Graham kind of took a bit of a back seat, and he's still really performing on assists. He had 10 points and 9 assists total, so he's still performing, I would say, at an incredible level. But Malik is really starting to show himself as like one of the top players on this team. He's becoming the top scorer, and to look at 30 points, I mean, he has more than a third of the points that were scored in this entire game. I mean, he really is just dominating this. But what do you think the main reasons that he was able to step up for this were?
Like I said before, without Udoka, these perimeter players really had to have a key role in this game. If you see the highlights right here, just a second ago, it showed the score was 11-8 Kansas. And at that moment, Malik, he had 9 of our points. So outscoring Oklahoma State 9-8, you could say.
Yeah. And so, yeah, obviously I think that Udoka being out was a big part of this. I was more worried that Udoka being gone was going to make us struggle a little bit. Obviously, you know, I think it's arguable, we talked about this earlier, that we really don't have any real bigs on this team besides Udoka. I mean, Lightfoot is obviously pretty talented, but he's made some technical errors. He ended up fouling out of this game. DeSosa's pretty talented, but he's honestly more of an offensive player than he is defense, in my opinion. I think that it really challenged us to work a little bit harder on our offense, and that's what really opened us up for this for Malik's game. But part of this also is that Oklahoma State was probably a lot more tired as well. I didn't expect a win from this game, to be honest. We were shut out twice, once at home and once on the road. So to think that we were able to sweep them like this was just a very invigorating feeling.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Going into this game without Udoka, I was a little skeptical, but you got to remember Oklahoma State did play the night before. Their legs weren't as fresh as ours, and we were just coming off, haven't played since we played Oklahoma State.
Yeah. But talking about that a little bit more, where do you think that Malik is going to be taking the team in the future now that he stepped up like this?
Next year, I definitely see Malik Newman as one of the, he already is a key role for this team, but next year, having been on the team already for a year now, he's definitely going to be one of the main players on the team next year, and I'm really excited to see how he produces in tonight's game against K-State and potentially a championship game on Sunday, but especially in the tournament.
Do you see a win from K-State tonight?
From K-State, no. K-State's actually going to be potentially without Dean Wade with a foot injury. So if that is the case, I don't think K-State stands a chance. Right, as of right now, KU is a 7.5 favorite to win this game. And also, K-State, while playing KU at the Sprint Center, they're 0-9.
Okay. And we have a clip, I believe, from the press conference that Bill was talking about Malik's performance in this game, if we want to play that as well.
We haven't really shown that we had 4 guys here of late. And so, yeah, Malik putting us on his back was huge. To be down 10 early when they just kicked us last week and they're making everything, it seems like, and we're struggling, to have him put us on his back and then get us to halftime with a 1-point lead, and then in the second half we just kind of pieced it together. But that was big for us. And going forward without Doak, especially, we're going to have some perimeter player play great, maybe 2 to play great to give us the best chance.
So I think that really just confirms what we were talking about earlier, is that Bill really saw that Malik was able to step up when Udoka was gone. But he also talked about a little bit later how Udoka being gone, this really wasn't necessarily a guarantee that we're going to keep performing as well as we have. This is really just like a small taste of what the team is able to offer. We've seen throughout the season that we can be a little inconsistent sometimes, especially with injuries as well. We don't know how we're going to be performing. Hopefully Udoka will be able to come back so that we don't have to worry about that, though.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Mitch Lightfoot, like you said, he did end up fouling out, and with DeSosa, they did put up good numbers. They combined 14 points, 14 rebounds, and with those rebounds being said, KU was out-rebounded 36-33, which in hindsight, I gotta say, is pretty good without having Udoka.
But I still think we're looking at much better in this tournament still, but we're still going to need to win the entire tournament if we want to become a 1 seed.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that no team has been a 1 seed with 8 losses. KU is currently at 24, 25, and 7 on the year.
So they need to win.
If KU to win this tournament. There's no doubt in my mind they will lock up that 1 seed, and which they really need.
Yeah, but we also have another clip from Bill Self in that press conference talking about their standings in the league right now as well, if we want to play that.
This team is easy to nitpick with because when we're good, it's magnified in ways because we can shoot and move the ball. When we're bad, it's magnified in ways because we don't do the things in grinded out games that a lot of good teams do. So you know, I think it's fair to say that this team leaves you wanting more sometimes, but to your point, in this league, to win the league by 2 games, they're probably not saying that about Texas Tech and West Virginia. Probably saying, hey, that was a great year.
I think that what that really confirms there is that Bill's talking about how like this team really has performed pretty well this season still. I mean, obviously we're off to a little bit of a rough start to begin with, but like compared to the rest of the teams in this league, I think that we still have some like really amazing standings, and I think that we kind of tend to be held to a bit of a double standard just because we really are such an exceptional team that when we are lacking in our play, I mean, we're just scrutinized a lot more for our mistakes than we are for our successes.
Yeah, like you said, that double standard. KU basketball, they are the face of the Big 12, so that's why they have that double standard. And I'm really looking forward to see how they play tonight. KU, K-State, 6 o'clock at the Sprint Center. As for now, I'm Jacob Cole-Kaufman.
And I'm Corey Lewis-Minkoff. And them's the facts.
Have a nice day. You too. Have a great day. Thanks. You too.
Make someone's day. Pay it forward.
And great show we had today. You excited for basketball?
Oh, I'm definitely excited for basketball. Looking forward to watching
the tournament
KU play. Yeah. Oh man.
I hope we win it all. Hope we win it all. What about the brackets? Do you fill out brackets?
I do fill out brackets. Fill about 5 every year just to cover my losses.
Different ones?
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever have like competitions with your friends?
Yeah, I'm about 2,700 in the hole from last year, so hoping for a good year this year.
Wow. Yeah, I plan to have a little competition with my roommates.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, the one who loses has to buy everybody dinner. That's the worst. So hopefully.
I wish I could watch that tournament this weekend though, but I got to be mating the cows back at the farm because we didn't do it in the winter and Ma's mad, so got to go back and try to exemplify our herd. I can't think of the proper word for it, but it's multiply our herd. That's our goal this weekend.
Yeah, so that's your weekend plans?
Pretty much, yeah. What about you?
I have a friend coming in from Missouri, so we're gonna hang out, see what's going on with that.
That's good, man. Well, I got nothing more to say. What about you?
That's it. Thanks for joining us. Come back next week for our spring break special. Thank you.